Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to O.A.F Discussions, O.A.F, Only as a Fan, brought to you by Country Noise, with your hosts Kid Swift and Thoroughbred Webb, where each week we will bring you views on music, movies, and video games. For all things Country Noise, hit at KN_Nation on Twitter, Country Noise on YouTube and Facebook, and countrynoise.com. Sit back and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of O.A.F Discussions. I am Kid Swift.
This is Thoroughbred Webb.
It's the Che Hey Kid here.
We got Che back on the show, everybody. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing tonight? This
Terrible.
morning, whenever you listen to it. Yeah,
Terrible.
Webb almost, he was going to call in the sick day. And, like, when he walked in, he just took medicine. It's over his
A trooper, man.
Yeah. He did this for y'all. Because I told him, I was like, do you want to, like, not do it, the show?
But I drove here.
He was like, nah, he said, I'm already here. I drove, screw it.
I'm outside.
So you can go, man. You can go. It's like, I'm already in the door, dude.
Right.
It's like,
We're already
Show must go
right.
on, people.
He's just gonna be pounding orange juice and cough syrup like what's the name, like a southern rapper for the rest of the.
seems appropriate.
Yeah, right.
Seems appropriate.
Like a rapper for music.
I just need a styrofoam. Yeah, I just need a styrofoam cup. I'm good.
But speaking of southern rappers and in general, nice segue there.
Right.
This is probably gonna end up being the most music-heavy episode we've had in a long time, which is good. Because every once in a while we like to just go music crazy. Because I mean, it's one of the main reasons we ended up in front of a microphone at all. Period. And most of us love music.
It's my reason for living, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so I mean, it's something that we love. So we had to go in on a bunch of music topics. So we obviously missed out on a bunch of stuff, so we're going to talk about it. So, yeah, here we go. Che has a few topics. I just kind of start us off and get us going.
I did, man.
We can rock and roll.
And here's the thing, and this, it could be a sore subject for some people, or, it may not be. But
9/11.
God, that hurt right there.
Too soon?
That stung. That was too soon.
Too soon?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's been a while. But because I've been listening to a lot of pop music, a lot of R&B driven music, a lot of mixed, dance influenced music a lot lately.
Yep.
And I listen to everything, so don't get me wrong, everybody out there, like I literally listen to everything. So I mean, country, folk stuff, I mean, even bluegrass if it's there. I mean,
That's the safest thing you could say to around anybody. Oh, I listen to everything.
Right, dude, it really is. And the thing is, I used to not be that way. Like I was never that way. I was always like, you know what? Country, no. That was the one I was like, I listen to everything but country. I used to actually say that. That's how I described myself and my taste.
A lot of people do that. It's a weird thing about it. Like, a lot of people do.
And then I moved here and hanging out, this, that.
To Kentucky.
Yeah, right. Moving in different radio stations. I worked for a country. One of the stations I worked for is a country station, so I fell in the country.
Right.
Happened to go to Garth Brooks this past weekend.
Yeah.
At Rupp Arena. I went to that, dude. It was phenomenal, man.
I bet.
I'm not gonna lie. Like and I knew it was gonna be good.
Yeah.
I got lucky, man. My boss called me. He was like, Che, you want to work the pre-party? I can't really pay you, but I'll give you 2 tickets. And I was like, well, why not? Hang out with gorgeous interns and freaking and go see Garth Brooks. And I did. The intern was phenomenal looking. And
seems like it always is there.
I know a girl's probably gonna watch this and be like, what is he talking about?
Wait a minute.
But anyway. And I ended up taking my girlfriend's roommate because she was out of town. It was this whole crazy thing. But anyway, I went. Phenomenal. What a show. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mad respect for that guy.
Yeah.
And he really, as old as he was, it was absolutely insane. I mean, he was all over the place, climbing on stuff. I mean, like,
Jeez, man.
He had the, the stage that moves, like the old NSYNC type shit.
Yeah, that goes back and forth.
Yeah, and they were doing on the rotator belt, and he only used that for like one of the encore tracks. You know what I mean? So he was just like all over the place. I was like, dude, this guy's fucking killing it, man.
Meanwhile, artists like Drake turning their ACLs and shit.
From
and
jumping
you
too
got
hard.
homeboy Garth Brooks weighing God knows how much. You know what I mean? Out there sweating it up, and he did. And I just totally get off the subject, but we're on Garth Brooks. We'll talk country for a second.
Right.
And he, God, what was I gonna say? I totally forgot. But he totally, as old as he is, man, he sang that, and then he did 2 shows back to back.
Yeah. They had to add a show, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. He did 4 shows in 2 days. I've never heard of any artist ever doing this. So doing the show Friday night, and a 30-minute break, going and doing the exact same show again, then the next night doing the exact same thing. 6:30 show, 10 o'clock show.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Insane, yeah. Because the tickets sold out in like 5 minutes. When they first because they announced one show. Yeah. The tickets sold out in like 5 minutes, and they was like, we're gonna have to get you to do more. Yeah. Because there's no way we can fit in everybody that wants to come see.
And that's what it was. I mean, it was full, completely sold out. I mean, everybody from all over the place was coming around. And
absolutely.
It was a great experience. Went out, had a good time. So
that's awesome.
Anyway, that's how that goes.
Whistle.
Yeah, but the main person I wanted to talk about, who's, and this is the sore subject I want to talk about, but I'm gonna say his name too. Here it is.
Go ahead, you might as well. He don't know us.
Chris Brown.
Right. Yeah.
So thoughts. First, I want to know y'all's thoughts on Chris Brown. Like, what do you think?
I saw This is kind of funny because it makes me think, but I saw a meme. The matter of fact, it was yesterday. It might even been earlier today, but it was basically showing people's rhyming patterns, and it had Chris Brown, Eminem, Lil Wayne, and Lil B, and it had the word blunt and what they would rhyme with the word blunt. So Eminem's was confront. Mm-hmm. Chris Brown's was blunt. Same word.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne's was nigga. That was his word.
I thought it would have been pussy.
No, it was nigga. And then Lil B's was choo choo train or something totally different. I think it was chocolate. It was chocolate. That was what he would rhyme with blunt. So
Lil B hardly rhymes and shit anyway.
Exactly.
But with Eminem, see, there's two things I got with that. Eminem, I would think he would actually go about saying cunt.
Yeah,
I think he would.
Yeah, knowing him, he probably would go there.
And with Lil Wayne, I'm pretty sure he would throw pussy in there somewhere.
Oh, he would find some way to put it in.
Yeah, there's something about some pussy.
It's so
good pussy too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But that's the funny thing about I talking about Chris Brown. It's kind of weird because he keeps doing this, these rhyming, where he'll rap on some songs now.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it works. Whatever. I mean, it's simplistic rap versus, which is fine. But I mean, as far as he hasn't done anything that is made me be oh, that was awesome, or vocally that was amazing, or he hasn't done. My favorite song of his ever was Fine China. To me, that's his best song, period, because it because he was trying to channel Michael Jackson as much as he possibly could. He did a pretty good job of getting that kind of that nice groove, upbeat type track.
Right.
But that's his high point for me. Other than that, everything else has just been kind of
yeah.
There's so many other vocalist wise. There's so many other artists that destroy. And I mean, that's just on the music side. On his personal side, I'm not really worried about that shit.
Right.
That's a whole nother discussion. But musically, as far as as a consumer, someone who enjoys music, someone that takes it in. I mean, he hasn't done anything to make me be yay, or I'll listen to something else. But there's been plenty of other artists that have. I mean, Janelle Monáe, Justin Timberlake. I mean, all these other artists that when they do stuff, it's I mean, it's and every song on the project will be awesome.
Not putting a song out every month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You can't tell when.
I hate when artists do that, dude.
When it's album time, because they're always putting random stuff out, and then it's just mediocre stuff in between some solid stuff, and it's just, I don't know, it's weird how it works out like that. But yeah, I mean, it's neither here nor there for me as far as Chris goes.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, even though the fact that I was younger when he first came out, hell, I guess we was probably about the same age. We got to be.
Well. Us and Chris Brown, or us?
I was a little older.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Well,
but even then, when he first came out, I was okay. I was like, he might be something pretty awesome when he gets older, when he matures and stuff. And then it just, I don't know, it never really blossomed or whatever.
Yeah. It's still been a little consistent. Well, with the exception of the legal troubles and all that stuff.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't even want to talk, because that just like I said, that's a whole nother discussion. But yeah, I mean.
It is, and I mean, I just here's how it is, and it makes me mad because I hear a lot of his music, and I like it. And It drives me insane, dude. I was watching a video today, and I was like, oh, well, let me just check this video. It's from one of the songs they did with Rick Ross, and Usher was in it. And the video, whatever video that was, I'll think of it here in a minute that I just watched. Yo, it was so sick, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so sick. The choreography was crazy. The video was shot well. The song was actually good.
Yeah.
I don't really, as an artist, I mean, if you're a studio artist, I don't have a lot of respect for you. I'm a live music person.
Right, yeah, exactly.
You got to be able to do it live. I don't care if you're a boy band, whatever it is.
What's the song? New Flame?
What's that?
New Flame?
Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah.
All right, that's so.
Video was great.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I watched it because I literally tried not to watch anything that he does.
Right.
That whole thing that happened. You know what I mean? That really did affect me somewhat. I saw the pictures.
Yeah, right.
I'm not about that life. You know what I mean?
Exactly right. Yeah.
At all, dude. So. Yeah, it was a big deal for me. But then, I keep hearing all these songs. People are playing it, and I've heard a lot of different songs, and it's great. The thing is as a live performer. See him going up there and trying to sing and dance at the same time, for me, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a singer and dancer, you need to be able to condition yourself to be able to sing your tracks while you're dancing.
Right.
Like Justin Timberlake, other artists.
And we had a conversation the other day about that, about how, a lot of artists, especially vocal artists nowadays, they can't keep up. You can tell when somebody's conditioned.
Yeah.
Or when somebody's been they obviously work out and sing at the same time, in order to condition themselves.
And that's what they do. A lot of older artists, you don't see it as much now.
I would have to even though I said he's neither here nor there with me. I will, as far as what he's done as far as his live performances, he does do pretty damn good as far as that goes. From what I've seen, I mean it's a lot more than most other R&B artists do. I guess I could say it that way.
The dancing's great.
Yeah.
The singing, because he doesn't sing. Really, you know what I mean? That's what drives me crazy. It's all track or whatever, auto tune or whatever it's doing. When he's dancing, it's just terrible. And he did a slow track one time, and this is what I was waiting for. He did one. It's the American Music Awards, I think, a year ago.
Yeah.
When all that stuff was just ending, he had the blonde hair and stuff he was doing, and he did a slower song without the dancing. And I was like, okay, cool. This is gonna be actually get to see what he's gonna do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he sang that song. And it was terrible, dude. I mean, it was like somebody, if he had, laryngitis or something. I'm like, granted, if you had laryngitis, you don't perform. Yeah, right? He sounded like Webb on a Thursday night.
Right.
But, it was...
I'll take that.
It was a bunch
I sound like Chris Brown at the AMAs.
It was a lot of track, a lot of auto-tune. And I was like, dude, just go ahead and kill it. If you can sing, then sing.
Right.
And I really don't think that he can, really.
Right, yeah.
So...
And he was having you said before, we even got started, R&B, it's kind of like an R&B artist discussion-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But what you said about Sam Smith kind of surprised me.
Yeah. So, and I don't know. Have you listened to Sam Smith at all? Or
Yes, I do. I'm actually, I've grown into being a fan of Sam Smith.
Okay, yeah.
Same way.
So... And here's, oh man, this is terrible. No offense to anybody out there, but if you're offended, fuck it. So
that's what we're here for.
Yep.
Only as a fan.
The whole Sam Smith thing.
Right. All right.
It is, I was like, okay, I'd heard the one track, whatever that is. What's the main track? The one slow one,
Stay With Me.
Stay With
Me. And I was like, oh, okay. It's kind of beat to me already because it had gotten played out before it even, happened. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then I listened to the album. My sister had the album.
Yeah.
And she was like, yo, this album's crazy.
Yeah.
And then I was hearing all this stuff on social media and people that I know that are, out of LA, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's great. So I listened, and that La 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 song, I was like, oh my God, this is the shit.
Yeah,
I was like, this is so awesome. It's ambient. You know what I mean? It has that ambient feel, and it's smooth and Euro all at the same time.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was like, oh, this is great. So technically, somebody gonna get that?
Right, yeah. Hey, answer the phone at you, right there.
But I mean, so that I like that song, but then the only thing. He performed at the VMAs and all that, and I've been listening to some of the music. Yeah. And it really sounds like we got a lot going on here.
There's a train in the background, and there's a phone ringing.
Are we on the social network?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a pivotal moment.
Hopefully, but anyway, I think his voice, man, and it kills me to say this because I like to stay so positive, but I think his voice sounds flat at times.
Really?
Very flat.
Then it's funny when I think because I'm a fan of his music. I like his stuff. Like that I sent you that Whitney Houston cover.
Oh my God. I'm still listening to that.
Kills that. He destroyed. Like I've never heard nobody cover Whitney like that.
You're welcome.
Dude,
It's
and that
not
was great.
easy.
That was
Yeah,
great.
exactly. So that went through the chain of command. That was Webb to me, and I sent it to
And
you.
they
So,
gave me, and then I stole it
Yeah.
and put it on my phone.
Right, yeah.
And I've been
'Cause
playing it for all kinds of people.
ridiculous. It's insane, but like it was funny because like I had a conversation with a friend of mine. Matter of fact, Al.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a conversation with him. Like
Seen
it was
him
probably
forever.
like a few years ago, but like it was funny because like I was taught it was like one of those situations like where you don't really know what somebody else's opinion is on them, but you've had so many interactions with so many people that you think it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Alicia Keys, and I was like, because I always tell people like that's the first concert I ever went to.
Really?
Was Alicia Keys when she first came out. That was the first concert I ever got to go to.
Was that the one that was here?
The one that was at Kentucky State Fair.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That was the
yeah.
first one. I was like, man, this is crazy. I'm gonna go to a shitload of more concerts. I haven't went to that many.
Now that's
But
an artist.
yeah. But the funny thing was, as soon as he said, oh man, I can't really mess with her. He said, I don't really like her voice. Her voice sounds flat. And the funny thing was, like, I was like, whoa, dude. I was like, whoa, like, oh. Like, I was like freaking out, like, are you insane? She sounds amazing. But the funny thing is, I went back and I started listening to her, and like over the years, I was like, there's some
flat stuff.
and it could be like, is that her style? But at times, like, you could easily make that argument. Yeah, sometimes she does sound flat. Like, it's simple as that.
Yeah.
But it's not like flat in the way of like, she's singing in one key and then it goes flat. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Right. It's in the sense that like it's like if it's flat, the whole damn song is flat.
The whole thing.
And you're like,
It's in that tone. The whole time.
and you're like, okay. I was like, maybe that's just her voice, and it's weird because like when he first said it, I was like, holy crap! I've never heard anybody say something negative about Alicia.
You must not be familiar with the internet.
Right. Well, yeah. Like I said, I avoid the negative stuff. I try to as much as possible. But just in normal, now I expect it. Mm-hmm. But in back and forth normal conversation with somebody similar age, I assume similar views most of the time, it's kind of derails a little bit when somebody's like, yeah, I don't really like them like that. Or like, but in a way that's like, yeah, I don't like them, and here's the reason why. And then it makes you go back and be like,
and you're like, well,
damn it, he was right.
Yeah, what an argument.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, with the Sam Smith thing, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, with that Whitney Houston ridiculous version, if he's singing in falsetto, I think he has one of the most beautiful falsettos for a male singer. And if he's singing in falsetto, it doesn't sound flat. It sounds like a guy singing in falsetto that really knows how to sing in falsetto.
Yeah.
It's when he goes down to, mixing in, going from falsetto to soprano to that tenor type sound.
That tenor run.
His tenor, that right there, in that soprano tenor, that's where it just kind of sounds like anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunate, you know what I mean? Nobody's perfect, shit.
Yeah.
But how did he even get big? Was he an X Factor person too? Is that how that happened?
I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember exactly if he was or not, but I remember, the funny thing was, I remember, because he had Latch,
With
and then he
Disclosure,
and with Disclosure, and then he had Stay With Me. But there was one song before Latch, that I didn't even know it was him until after Stay With Me it came out. Mm-hmm. And I can't think of the name of the song, but I remember hearing it on the radio and was like, this song is sick. And I loved the beat. It was like a more like mid-range, like upbeat kind of song.
It wasn't Money on My Mind, was it?
His beats are great.
It might have been Money on My Mind. Was it?
Maybe.
It might have been, but I can't remember the exact name of it. But like that one, I was like, man. But then like it's funny when you do that, like when you hear an artist for the first time, but you don't know you're hearing them for the first time, and then you hear like another song, like that's Sam Smith, and you go back and you're like, oh, that was his too. Like that's crazy.
I did that with Carmen. When, when that song came out, I was like, man, what's it? And then I went and heard a song, and I was like, man, I heard that on the radio like a year ago. Another song from them, and I was like, wow, this is okay. But,
right, yeah. And the funny thing, like with that, like with Sam Smith, and like we was talking about, like the flat thing, and then like with Alicia Keys, who would you say, like off the top of your head, if you could just think of one person, who is the most consistent vocalist? Consistent. Not talking about best.
Not
I mean
best,
somebody who sounds in key, damn near flawless every time you see him, whether it's performance or on an album.
Justin.
That's what I was thinking. Like I would go Justin.
Man.
I would even go like, if I want to go back, I would go like maybe even like Sade or Anita Baker.
No, Anita Baker. That's a whole nother.
I mean, I've never like even her live stuff, and that's a huge part of my childhood because my aunt played her nonstop every time she babysitted me. Too. Yeah, so like when I hear her, it like takes me back to like 92, 93, like instantly. But like if you listen to like her live stuff and her like
that shit makes me cry. Like, I heard it not too long ago, and I was like, and I just sit back and I'm like, it just really takes me back. I can smell everything that's going on.
Exactly.
And keep going.
And if you hear her live, it sounds exactly the same. It's ridiculous. And yeah, like I would say that, and Sade, obviously, I mean that's one of my.
She kills it.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Every time. Still, and she still looks like she's like a woman version of Prince. Like she hasn't aged. Ooh. Yeah, like Pharrell. Yeah, I think they're all in the same. They might be related.
Prince. Let's not. And that who also has new music out, by the way.
Yeah, his new album's kind of ridiculous.
And he's like, been doing
in a good way.
I think he's gonna be. Was he on Saturday Night Live, or is he gonna be on it?
He was on Saturday Night Live with Chris Rock. Yeah, and it was ridiculous. Yeah. He killed it. And also. Random thing, but Chris Rock has never been one of my favorite comedians, but he killed it on Saturday. His whole bit intro thing and everything, and his monologue stuff was fucking awesome.
I've always liked him.
And he's never been one of my favorites for some reason. But I don't know, he killed it. Yeah, Prince and Chris killed Saturday Night Live last weekend. It was ridiculous.
So yeah, I have to check.
But Prince's new album's retarded.
That's what everybody's saying, and I don't even have. I think I've heard like a little bit, but I don't even have it yet. So I need to get on that right away. So
and
yeah,
it like
Prince
knocks.
music.
Like it's not just like it's like Prince. Like it's like it knocks better than most rap albums. Like most rap albums nowadays. Like it's ridiculous. Like his all the production's amazing. It's ridiculous.
Throw that out there, but since we're on the topic of singing.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that video with the T-Pain singing without auto-tune and like a little...
Oh, dude, I posted that not too long ago.
I didn't watch it.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, you sent it to me. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but like from all the... Yeah.
That threw me off.
And the funny thing was, like, I always thought, like, I'd heard him, like, sing before, but knowing him, he might have just been joking around.
Right.
But I'd heard him, like, sing without auto-tune before, and it seemed
it was terrible.
It was garbage.
I think we saw it together.
Show.
Yeah, the hip hop. It was the hip hop honors for VH1.
What song did he do?
It was for it was like a New Jack Swing song.
Oh.
Yeah, he was basically doing one of the covers for like one of the old school artists.
What the hell was it called, man?
And he was doing that, and
maybe an old.
Do it like this, do it like this.
That song.
That's exactly how he sounded.
And
in the voice that I'm in right now.
Like,
I was like, ooh,
he really needs.
If it's a dream, let it wake me up. It's like, ooh,
it was like that.
Yeah, like that's the way it sounded.
Damn near, but I mean, granted, I'm in the condition I'm in too.
Now
So
T-Pain sounds like way of.
So I sound like T-Pain live during the VH1.
Right, Chris Brown. Now you turn into T-Pain. Who's he gonna be next?
You're killing it.
I'm doing the damn thing, man. This sickness was the best thing that happened to me, apparently.
But anyway, dude, that video was. I watched that whole thing. I said it to you. I was like, geez, man. And a buddy of mine, Jordan, he had showed me a YouTube video of him he played a song for me. It was one song that he had that wasn't auto-tuned, but it was really just him rapping, he sang a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't remember the track, but you would know it. And he talks about being the son of Teddy Riley, which I don't know if he really is or not. He talks about that.
He talks about that a lot. It's weird.
Yeah, what's up with that? If he is, then congratulations, because he's a genius.
Yeah, I know, right?
And that's where you get it from, then, obviously. Dude.
Right, yeah.
So... I'm gonna dispel that.
That's
right now. Let me see.
Look it up one day, man, and it's
all classified documents.
Yeah, right.
No, you can't find
that. He's like, son of Teddy Riley. I'm like, son of Teddy Riley, really?
He said, "Whoa, wait a minute." The phone starts.
You talking about same Teddy Riley from Virginia Beach?
Right. Wow, that is wow.
He is.
That is really a kept secret if that was the case.
So it is the real deal?
No, they're not saying. They're not showing his parents.
I thought he was. No,
he doesn't. Yeah, they're not showing anything about his parents or anything like that. So
I was about to say this one went crazy.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Conspiracy. Yeah,
would have been happy.
Here live. Son of Teddy Riley. Yeah, but
he's 29.
Ridiculous.
Thought he was older for some reason.
But
son of Teddy Riley.
He always does that. Teddy pin her ass down, not pin the grass.
Teddy pinned her ass down. Yep.
Pinned her ass.
Yep.
Pinned her ass down.
Speaking of like the Facebook thing, when you sent that to me, like that's what we was talking. We was talking about this before the show, and this is another like going back to the whole internet thing, like getting me kind of like off, or like in those cases where you think somebody's going to say something else and it completely derails. But like I saw a post by Common said something. I was like, okay, if I look at the comments, which I normally don't, everybody's gonna be like, yeah, Common, thumbs up, give me a hug. high five. Right. And that was gonna be it. But Common said that artists like Kendrick Lamar, or specifically Kendrick Lamar and Chance the Rapper, have reinvigorated his love for hip hop.
Now, if this was a script, in the brackets for stage directions,
right,
shitstorm ensues.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, yeah, in the description, parentheses,
right,
shit hits the fan, shit hits storm ensues. I was like, okay, cool. I expected to scroll down and be like, see exactly that like agreement with him. Like, okay, yeah, I agree. Kendrick's one of the greatest. And then like maybe a few people like, fuck Kendrick, and then somebody else be like, no, for real. Then they'll be like, all right. But like literally everybody was like, Common's full of shit. He's washed up. Chance ain't shit. Kendrick ain't shit. And I was like, whoa, dude. I was like, wait a minute. Like, did I miss something? Cause like, I don't listen. I haven't got a chance to like really sit down and listen to Chance like I have Childish Gambino or Kendrick or some of the other newer guys. But Kendrick, I mean, you can't deny that he could probably destroy most rappers.
He's good.
Period.
Favorite or non?
I don't care who you name. Yeah, I mean, even like some old school dudes, they would be like breathing heavily after they got like done with the battle. Like, I mean, still. Right. But I don't know, it just blew me away because I'm like, that's awesome. Like, because I'm kind of in the same boat as Common. I was like kind of pushing the shit away, and then like you said, I was like one of those people that originally was like, I don't listen to anything else except for like hip hop and some R&B. And then when I went to college, I started listening to fucking everything. And like some of my favorite artists now are like rock bands like The National and Frightened Rabbit, and like like folk and like rock bands from like Europe. And they used to be just like rap artists and that was it. But it and like Kendrick was one of those artists that I was like, okay, maybe there are some people that are gonna fucking try still and put out some really quality music. And he's not the only one, don't get me wrong. Like there's plenty of other artists, other like harder artists like Jeezy. And the funny thing is I've started to like fucking oh man, he's slipped my mind. What's his name? I hated him my freshman year of college only because the people that I knew that liked him were jackasses.
Dipset?
No, I like him. I hated him. Okay, that's another one. We'll go through this. Hold on. Dipset, I fucking hated them when I was in high school because the people that liked them were jackasses. And then I like them. They're fucking awesome. They make me laugh. Right. And Cameron's flow style is hilarious. What is his name, man?
Help me out.
Yo Gotti.
Oh.
Yo Gotti. I couldn't stand that nigga. But now, honestly, I got nothing but respect for him. But it's funny how that shit changes. And it's funny how that changes and shifts. But I agreed with Common. I almost commented and I never do that. I'm never gonna take the time out to like start an argument with some Stevie 6917 from fucking Omaha, Nebraska, who's got a comment about this topic. Like
this is on Facebook. It was
like an article that Common had like. In an interview, he said that, and then like somebody like posted a link to the article, and then everybody just went apeshit in the comments on it. And I was like,
hip hop gets a lot of haters, man.
I was like, maybe I'm listening to the wrong thing.
And especially like a lot of urban, what do you call it, websites or whatever that is. Like they'll trash people
like
quick.
The blogs and stuff.
Yeah, the urban blogs, man. They just like they'll get on it, dude. I mean. Sometimes just for really no reason. I think it's just to do it. I'm like,
just it's a cool thing to do.
Yeah, you know.
No, it's like, lame. Everything's lame.
I hate that dude. Oh, you know.
And it's funny, like you've seen that kind of like, especially like lately, even with dealing with the whole thing with Iggy and Macklemore. That's been a big topic lately, and I didn't think it was. The funny thing was like they both came out. Everybody was like, this shit's kind of catchy. I like it. Iggy's album initially was rated like one of the best albums of the year when it dropped.
Right. Good album.
And it's good. I like it.
I heard it.
And then it was funny after that, like all this like racial stuff like started coming out. Like,
didn't you think we were over that shit?
I was like, what the like where did this come from? Like, okay, everybody kept getting on the fact that Iggy's first line of one of her biggest tracks is "First Things First, I'm the Realest," and then everybody just took that to a whole nother level, like, and started putting up like memes of like Biggie and like Tupac and shit like covering their face and stuff, and I'm like, that's not really what she means. She knows that she's not.
And the other rappers say that same shit anyhow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, look at the other rappers who say like, I'm a god, I'm the greatest, I'm a king, I'm blah blah blah, whatever.
what's so fucked up is that the press, they go in on that, like, and they build it more than what they do, and not even just the press, but like at the BET Awards, what went down with her and the Nicki Minaj and all that.
Yeah.
And it's like it was almost scripted, even though it wasn't, but you could tell, because I could tell by the camera angles.
Yeah, they were
by how they were like on this person and on that person. They made it a big deal. They did the same thing, the Billboard Music Awards a couple years ago with Justin Bieber, when he just had like a total fail, right? Yeah. And like he got booed, and then Prince came on at the end of the show and did a song, and it was really all about like being fake, and it was really kind of geared directly towards him. But I was like, this whole thing. So I watched the whole thing and like I pieced it together, and I was like, this is fucking scripted. I'm like, you guys, you did this all, and obviously you don't give a shit about the artist, you know what I mean? But you did it all to, you know, to boost ratings, to get people to talk about your shit.
Right.
And that's what kills me, you know what I mean? It's like, it's one thing, you know, artists, you know, doing whatever, but it's the media too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
They eat it up, because I mean it drives visits to people's sites, reads on people's art.
That's what they do. They want their numbers, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm gonna have an unpopular opinion here.
What you got?
That?
I do not care for Macklemore, to be honest with you.
Hey, man.
That's fine.
First and foremost, there is no fucking way. There is no fucking way that Macklemore's album won a fucking Grammy over Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, that was.
There is absolutely no fucking way.
I did not agree with that at all.
That should have won Best Rap Album. Best Rap Album.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Secondly, what are the two biggest songs that y'all know from Macklemore?
You know,
Thrift Shop
and whatchamacallit?
And the one about the gay love.
The gay anthem.
Same Love.
Same Love.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't
And then
mean
there's what does
anything
the gay love one.
Right, the gay.
Yeah, the one with the homos in it.
Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong.
No,
nothing wrong with that.
Okay. I forgot about. I didn't think about that one. But okay, Thrift Shop, Same Love, and what's that other one called? Like The City Can't Hold Us or something like that.
Here we go back.
Yeah.
With the dude with the tight suit. He was doing this.
Y'all see when he performed that?
He was
the whole time.
The whole time while he was singing, and he had the tightest suit on I've ever seen in my life. Like he looked like Yogi Bear with a 3-piece suit on. Like it was crazy, and he was just like, I was like, okay,
Okay.
that's cool. Yeah, that one. That's like his top. I say that's like his three. Those are like his three like ones. Now, granted, there are some other ones on the album that I think are way better than those. That was weird.
But then once again, though, I mean,
I'm sorry.
The Grammys.
Yeah. Well, there's that too. But I forgot about Same Love, so I'm gonna have to omit that from the point I was gonna make.
Yeah. What'd you go?
Thrift Shop and The City Can't Hold Us. We're gonna call it that.
Yep.
The main thing that everybody likes about that song is the damn chorus.
Yeah. It's.
And who sings the chorus on those songs?
Yeah. The chorus is the
But hell, fucking Same Love. Who sings the chorus on that song?
Yeah.
Chick.
Homegirl.
So
Who
I mean,
kills it, by the way.
Yeah, she does. Her vocals were.
so I mean, like, I cannot buy. I'm not gonna say that they're trash. I'm not gonna say Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Is that the other dude's name? Yeah. I'm not gonna say that they're trash, but I just don't.
DJ, right?
I do. Yeah, our DJ, producer, or something like that.
something like that.
Like Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff or something like that.
Yeah, it's basically
Probably.
what they're going for, I guess.
Yeah, I just don't see any way that they are at that level that people are trying to put them at.
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah,
and it was.
I like that point. I'm glad you made that point though, because I honestly forget about that. The fact that he won over King, because at the moment I was like,
It was an issue.
Everybody was like what? Like everybody kind of had that look like, whatever.
But you gotta realize, man, it's Grammys,
Right.
and they're all about. It's never really been about who's the best at the Grammys. I mean, look at the people who are nominated.
No.
How many Grammys does Taylor Swift freaking get?
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? For the same song over and over and over again. And she still gets nominated, and I'm like, dude, like,
Same thing.
there's a million other people out there, you know what I'm saying, that are doing stuff. Like Kimbra, for one.
Right. Yeah.
You know, Kimbra from New Zealand, a real artist.
Right.
I mean, there's a million people that are doing so much more, and that's right there tells you, the fact that, Taylor Swift or God knows who, can come out, or Lord, or any of these people can come out and be like, it's shit.
And it was so funny because like when I first really got into like house music and stuff, like
even though they're like astronomically bigger and like it's not even the same thing as like the underground like house artists like obviously you had when you were first like coming up and like when I got into it obviously which was late compared to you, but now like even like that was I looked at that like finally like the Grammys are kind of like starting to open up a little bit when they started like having people nominated even though they were the big huge people.
Yeah.
When you have people being nominated like like Skrillex, like Zed, Avicii.
Yeah.
Even though all three of those I don't even really mess with no more because like they're so just
so mainstream now.
Whatever, man.
Yeah. But I mean,
if you're not making your beats in your basement, I don't want to hear that shit, man.
Yeah.
No, it's funny though. I mean, and like I seriously looked at that initially and was like okay, I like to see that like they're considering something that is very different,
right?
To be one acceptable,
right,
but also very profitable.
Super profitable.
Which is one of the main reasons it finally got accepted back into like something as prestigious as the Grammys. I mean, and it's just nonstop. It drives me crazy because, like I'm really glad you made that point because, like I said, I completely forget about that. Macklemore took that rap album of the year over Kendrick. I was like, dude, like,
that's just bad business right there.
That album was ridiculous. Good Kid, Mad City is retarded good. Like it's ridiculously good. And people always go back and forth, and that's a whole nother argument. Is like which one's better, Section 80 or Good Kid, Mad City? But man, it's
that's hard to say.
It's I think it's a tie.
But that's I don't know. I mean, at the same time, you kind of want to put like an apples and oranges approach with those. two.
They're very different sounding albums. But Good Kid, Mad City should have fucking won that year.
See, and that another thing though also is with that. With all of this being said, those award shows, it's all bullshit. We all know it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're an artist and you're doing whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? What you're doing, if it means something to you and that's important and it has that thing, then that's who's to really say that this is better than that?
Right, yeah,
all the time. You know what I mean? And I know I sound like Eddie Vedder right now, but because I mean that was one thing that he, would always get into, as far as all that goes. But
right.
And that's the thing, and then it just causes more fiction. Oh, well, this is better than this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I can see how you could be like, I think, is it Record of the Year or one of them where it's the production part, where they focus more on production, I believe, on the Record of the Year.
Is it Record of the Year? And then you have, like, Album of the Year?
And you have Album of the Year, you have Song of the Year, or whatever. I think Record focuses on the production. Now, I could see as a production, but at the same time, the way things are produced now, I mean, I would think more of like a symphony production, Then you could say, oh, well, this is, he really did a bunch of work. He did all
He wrote the music,
like 200 people and put it all together.
Right, yeah.
But yeah.
Exactly, yeah. It's interesting to see kind of like how like it's shifted and how like the award show stuff affects everything and like how certain artists can be viewed by certain people in different ways. It's wild, man. It's crazy. Like you say,
music reflects society. And society reflects the music.
Right.
I've always said that, and it's so true. And that goes back. I mean, when I was before you got, when I was younger, the early '90s. You know what I mean? Like that whole '92 and all of that, man. When it went down, like with the grunge and with the hip hop that was happening at that point in time.
Yeah.
Everything that was happening in society was happening in the music, and then the music would blow it up, and then it would just it was just like a revolving door of what was going on. Everything, the racism, everything you can think of, it was all right there in the music. So when you go back and you listen to all that early '90s and all that stuff, a lot of people think, oh, that's a catchy tune, that's great, that's wonderful. I'm like, there was like a lot of feeling behind all of that music. You know what I mean? It was serious.
And the funny thing is, like, you don't really see that as
not right now.
Not as much. And this is kind of leading into another point like we were talking about before with Kendrick's song, but you don't see it like reflect as heavily. Like when you listen to like some of those, like you said, like one of those like those grimy or like early '90s songs, or like those like the '80s songs and stuff. The stuff that was like reflecting like the Watts riots and like that kind of stuff that was going on that was really heavy.
60s,
like
all that kind of stuff.
Like all the shit that's been going on, like as far as like the Trayvon Martin thing. dang, what's the place called in St. Louis? I'm sorry.
Ferguson.
Yeah, the Ferguson stuff. Like, it doesn't get brought up in music as a influential theme of the music where they turn it into something song-wise, express how they feel about it, and let the public know through their song. They just use the shit as a fucking punchline. Yeah. Like for instance, Rick Ross's one of his punchlines right after the Trayvon Martin thing was I think he said something along
George
the lines.
Zimmerman don't want it or some shit like that.
No, that was one, but then there was another one like hoodie all black Trayvon Martin, like something like just some simple shit like that. And then then it's like touch it and then run away.
And then he went and started talking about a chain or
about
something.
Lobsters and Big Ram.
Yeah. No, not lobster. Crab meats.
Crab meats. Shrimps and a little steak.
Wow.
Oh man. But
shooting dices.
Shooting dices. You know it's not.
That's already plural.
Right. Never mind. That's all right. Whatever. Do you, brother? But it's funny, to see that. I mean, you don't see it reflected as, I don't want to say as harshly, but as directly, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It's like the music's like a mirror, and like you can look at it, like you can listen to music and be like, oh, I know what the fuck is going on right then. It's just like people always say, the Vietnam is the only war that has a soundtrack.
Yeah.
Only war.
They control it now more though too.
Yeah, it's very true.
Now the fact that everything is the way that it is, this whole the computer thing and before, it was when music was really like in that early '90s and all that. It was you can kind of really get anything out there, and it was about the shock value too. Marilyn Manson.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot that was going on with that. Yeah. Now it's kind of like, well, we have some control. They have more control over it now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's
because,
like two companies controlling everything.
Yeah, they're controlling everything. So it could be. So I guess some people would say that's good, and some people would say that
it's bad, right?
It's bad.
And it's funny because talking about this, and then like obviously we always talk about comic book stuff, but like one of my favorite moments in movies, and that could relate to this, is when in Captain America in 2. When Cap's talking about like how he's trying to like catch up on all the shit that he missed while he was frozen.
Yeah.
And Falcon gave him. He told him to write down that. What was it, Marvin Gaye? Which Marvin Gaye album was it? I can't remember what. It was one of Marvin. It was one of Marvin Gaye's albums. He basically told him he was like Marvin Gaye's something 19 something. He was like, that'll get you caught up.
Yeah.
One album, and he was like, that'll catch you up on everything that went
everything
down.
That happened.
Like the end of Vietnam, like all that stuff, like all up through there. And that's true. Like that shows you, like he used an album, like some dude had been frozen for for years.
That's really good. And
really good. He was like, and on that list, you saw all the like normal stuff. The movies that he wanted to watch, the shows that he wanted to watch, the food that he wanted to try.
Yeah.
And Black Falcon was like, nope, this album's all you need by Marvin Gaye. You will be caught up.
Yeah.
That shows how powerful that shit used to be.
Yeah.
And it's not. Now could you really could you really be like Kanye's 808s and Heartbreaks? You've been frozen since 1995.
Hey, bro.
It'll catch you up on everything.
Hey, bro.
Anaconda.
Nicki Minaj. Anaconda.
Thug Motivation 101.
That might get you if you was frozen for like 6 months. But it's just funny. It shows you how powerful like those albums are. It shows you, just like we said, when we listen to Anita Baker now, we can instantly see and smell stuff from like when we first heard that shit. Same thing with Sade. God, same thing with Sade. It's wild, man. But like we was talking about before we started recording. We was talking about Kendrick. Kendrick's track "I," because it's been out obviously for a while. The video just came out, I think last week. Got to watch it. Very fucking good video. Well put together. Very real video that reflects the song perfectly. And then we were talking about Childish Gambino's projects that we've kind of missed out on. Well, not missed out. We've listened to them, but we haven't got to talk about them. Yeah. But what do you thought when you first heard Kendrick's track? When you first heard that "I," like, what did you think when you first?
Well, I first heard a snippet of it.
Yeah.
And then from that snippet, I was like, I was kind of thrown off a little bit, just off of the drum pattern and just like. Mostly off the production more than anything. That threw me off because I was still in a Good Kid, Mad City state, or expecting a Good Kid, Mad City like sequel or some shit like that.
Yeah, exactly right.
But no, he's going a completely different direction off of that one track, just from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Who knows what the rest of that album's going to sound like.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, god dang, I can't even talk. But yeah, I like it though. I mean, it's different. You're going to know for a fact what that song is as soon as you hear it on the radio.
Man.
It's gonna stick out.
Yeah.
Compared to every other damn thing that's on the radio.
And I was the same way when I first heard it, that drum pattern and stuff, when that sample came in and like he started spitting over it, and then I heard the hook. I was like, man, because it was funny because like I was like listening to it, and then like I had like looked over like some of the comments.
Of course.
And I just went ahead and like started like going through them, like even before I started listening, and people were like people were obviously already on that. Well, Kendrick could like, why is this way? And then people were like, oh, he can't make a positive song. That was one of the first things I initially saw.
Well, see,
the positivity thing behind it.
One side of the fence is just like, oh, okay, he's trying to be positive. The other side of the fence is like, oh, he's trying to be pop now. This nigga sold out and stuff like
exactly.
that.
And
it's like, dude.
Can't win for losing on that one.
Yeah.
But how the fuck is this pop when pop means popular?
Yeah, exactly.
The most popular type of rap song you're gonna hear about is "I'ma Take Your Girl."
Yep.
I'm sitting there rocking all this kind of money, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's the same shit that we've been complaining about for the past 10, 15 years. Money, cash, hoes.
Right.
Freestyle.
All a nigga knows.
Diddy shake.
Diddy shake. Making it ring.
But yeah, I mean, and that I'll tell you this. The funny thing is, I first heard I like the song. I really, really like the song. The funny thing is, one of the things that like made me like the song, like, and made me like, was like, yep, this is like one of my favorite hip hop songs to come out in a while, is when it got to that end and got to that like almost Dungeon Family-esque like breakdown at the end where you hear like the traffic and stuff in the background. I love that shit where the beat completely kind of changes and then you just hear like these noises and like, I mean, and it was perfectly relatable to like the topic of the song. Because you start to get like this old school like Dungeon Family like drum pattern, like real fast, like crazy shit as the song's winding down, and you hear like these traffic sounds, which relates perfectly to what he's talking about in the song. But man, that was like, when I heard that, I was like, man, this sounds like some. I mean, I was like, this sounds like some old Atlanta shit. Like, this is awesome.
Would
like,
you say
crazy,
that his music like is like it's explosive like that as far as like a society? Like he talks about. You think it's kind of on that level?
My thing,
by comparison.
Oh man,
like comparison to everything else that's out there.
Yeah.
And honest to God, like it's probably just that very thing that you was talking about, that fringe consciousness, or as far as like maybe touching on the subject but not going in depth on it.
Exactly.
And hell, he could probably be doing that on the song, but the fact that no one on the radio is even fucking doing that not as much close. Like they used to.
Yeah.
It kind of sticks. It makes it stand out that much more.
Yeah. But like you were saying, like as far as like close to like that kind of like that iconic moment in hip hop. The only thing I wish, and don't get me wrong, like I think TDE as a whole is pretty fucking awesome. I like everybody in that group. I mean, pretty much everybody. I mean, Ab-Soul always comes with either like some really introspective shit or some real grimy shit. It's like this weird like either side of the fence with him. Schoolboy Q, I dig Schoolboy Q a lot. I wish Kendrick had that, like, I mean, I wish he has it, but I wish he had more. I wish he had like a group of like 10, 15 people that were all like monsters lyrically. Like, I wish I could find more TDE members, basically.
Like a Wu-Tang or some shit?
Yeah, or like Dungeon Family. Like Wu-Tang or like Dungeon Family. I wish he had that whole, like even like NWA. Like if you think about it back then, I mean,
but who was really
granted, yeah, NWA might not be the best example because I mean, who was really good outside of that
Ice
initial,
Cube, other than Ice Cube,
the main general of that group. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, obviously, like you said, like Wu-Tang or something like that. Because I think, if anything, hip hop needs like that like a nasty group where they can literally have like one front runner person who's like constantly just like in your face and like everybody listens to them and they are that good and like people agree that they're good, and then at the same time you've got all these other like basically minions that are going out and doing features on other people's songs, that are performing on other people's songs, that are putting out their own music that's
almost or equally as good as that main person, and then before you know it, that's all that's on the radio. It's all this quality. It basically it's like almost like a coup on the quality of music. Basically, is what it is. So but like, you need numbers. Like you really can't, would. One person can't be on every person's song because then it just becomes obnoxious. Yeah. If Kendrick's on this song, that song, he's on a Taylor Swift song, he's on a Young Jeezy song. It's like, what's going on?
It becomes Young Money, right?
He's kind of doing that shit every now and then.
Yeah, every once in a while he does get on a lot of different stuff that you wouldn't expect, but at the same time, I think if you have those numbers, and you need those numbers and that quality and that ability to know where it's came from and know where you can basically, like you said, kind of touch on where it's been, but not have to go back to it and try to shove it in people's face. Like, this is where it was good. This is where it was good. Like, you don't have to do that. You can create something new, but like that now when it's on the radio, that 10-second snippet, that instantly, mentally for me, takes me back to Dungeon Family days. And then at the same time, I'm thinking this song as a whole was good. But I know that Kendrick knows where this shit has came from, like in the back of my head. Like, you don't have to say it. It's just like that reassurance of this artist knows what the fuck is up.
Well, yeah, and you tell,
feel good getting behind
all of a sudden, you can just tell automatically.
Yeah. I mean,
who produces for him?
Who? Kendrick?
Yeah.
Dre mainly.
Dre does all his shit?
Dre primarily. Now, he doesn't do all of it. But as far as on the production side, like as far as recording wise, Dre has a huge hand in it, but Dre's pretty much turned him loose at this point.
Yeah.
But Dre is like his mentor, pretty much. Dre's the one that pretty much founded him.
Dre's a god, right?
Yeah, he's $1 billion.
Jeez, man.
God. But yeah, I mean, I wish there was that entity. A lot of people might bring up and make arguments for certain groups. I mean, you can't. There's nobody that's even close. I don't even think to that old to a Wu-Tang or Dungeon Family, and I don't want them to be that. I want them to be their own thing. Yeah. But just the structure, the structure, it's just the same thing of saying if somebody's organization or company is awesome, you don't want to make the same product they're making, but you're their structure and their business plan is working, so let's try to apply that to what we're doing and bring something quality to consumers the same way. You kind of have to think like that. It's not, I mean, like we always, like everybody always says, it's not just music. It's
business,
definitely a
man.
Business, big time.
It's such a business.
But
I know that now more than ever. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It blows me away, thinking about it. I have no idea how long we've been recording. Oh yeah, 51 minutes. I had to check time. Sorry, whatever. I always gotta check. I don't know.
Need a timekeeper.
We talked a lot about music, man.
See that now? All the people that are just now. Once again, as always. Now I'm not ending the show yet because I know there's probably something else I want to touch on real quick before we leave. As always, we say, thank everybody for listening. This is kind of what the initial structure was. We initially did movies, comics, music. It's kind of how we bounce around. We used to split it up on one show, but now most of the time one topic takes over. So every once in a while the music will be the whole episode primarily. So hopefully you guys enjoyed as much as all the comic book stuff. But yeah. But before we go, there's a few other things we wanted to talk about before we left. On the movie side of things, there was a couple announcements we just wanted to touch on.
Yes.
Actually, just happened recently.
Today or yesterday?
Yeah, it was. I think it was today.
Or today, yeah.
I think I woke up this morning and saw it. But Star Wars finally got the name of the movie. It's Star Wars. Is it Force? Shit.
It's basic as hell.
I know. Right? Star Wars Force and shit. The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, yeah.
Star Wars: The Force Awakens is the confirmed title for this new Star Wars movie.
Exciting.
I don't even know. It's specific, but it's broad as hell because I don't know what the hell that could be. I mean, alluding to no telling what the heck happened.
Yeah, better than Dawn of Justice.
Right? Yeah. The more I think about it, that title makes perfect sense. Where that storyline is.
Okay.
With the Justice League thing.
But why not?
Right, I know.
I mean, I didn't mean to shit on that, but
no, you're fine.
It was just so unnecessary because there were so many better titles that were fake titles.
Yeah, there was a bunch of good ones.
And Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. They say, why don't we just use Dawn of Justice if that?
Yeah, because that's been the kind of the trend. Everything has been simplified. When you name these comic book movies, it's usually not
Justice. That'd be cold.
Yeah, it's usually not called like Superman or Batman. It's normally The Dark Knight or Batman Returns. It works. Or Dark Knight Rises. Like it's something that like you know what it is, but it's not specific. Mm-hmm. Like even if they would have just called this Star Wars movie The Force Awakens, everybody would have fucking known what that movie was about. Like that's what they should have did. They should have been like, we're making a new Star Wars movie. We'll release the title eventually.
It's not called
Star Wars. It's called The Force Awakens.
Especially since it's coming from a different studio.
Yeah. Like I would have rather them did that. Screw it. Whatever.
Anyway, I like the title.
I do. I like it. It works.
You know what's gonna happen. You know something. It's gonna get crazy.
Yeah. Obviously, it's been a long time. It's like 30 years after the last movie, so it's like it's a little. I mean, no telling what the hell has went down. Obviously, and there's been plenty of theories on where that story arc is gonna be at when they do start the movie. I think it's gonna be awesome.
But it's literally 30 years after.
It's literally and in the plot 30 years,
you know what I mean?
which is pretty awesome.
Can't go wrong with that.
That was genius, for them to do that.
I'll be sleeping out for that shit. Or I'll be there early anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah, all night.
I ain't sleeping out for shit.
Right, yeah, like that. And then the other bit of news, Tarantino's Hateful Eight cast got revealed. One of those people, being Channing Tatum. Now he's not one of the main people as far as like the main announced actors, but he's still like trying to figure out exactly what his unnamed role is. But the Hateful Eight, as far as like the main people, Samuel Jackson as Major Marcus Warren, Kurt Russell as John the Hangman Ruth, Jennifer Jason Leigh as Daisy Domergue. I can't say her name right. Walter Goggins from Justified. If you've seen Justified, he's a good fucking actor. It's Chris Mannix.
He was in Django, wasn't he?
I think he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
And
that's right, he was.
Yeah.
It's funny because you go like from all these people, like dude from Justified, Chris Mannix. Then you got Demian Bircher as Bob, just Bob, nothing else. Tim Roth as Oswald Morgan and Michael Madison as Joe Gage. Madison, as Joe Gage, and Bruce Dern as General Sanford. And then also Channing Tatum is being eyed for an unnamed role in the Hateful Eight. I'm really glad that this is actually happening because this Hateful Eight movie has been like in the rumor mill for the longest time. After Django and after even after initially what was it?
Yeah, Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, Inglourious Basterds. That's what I was trying to think of. After Inglourious Basterds, that was like the first time like the initial rumors started to come up. And even before like Hateful Eight kind of became like the running, like this is gonna be the next Tarantino movie, next big Tarantino movie. There was another movie that was gonna be rumored about a platoon of black soldiers that basically get screwed over in World War II, and pretty much the whole movie is about them like hunting down all the generals that screwed them over, and then like eventually taking out like some of the main generals on like the German side. So it's pretty much a black Inglourious Basterds, pretty much.
Yeah,
and like
Tarantino.
Yeah. I mean,
right
it's Tarantino.
It's Quarantino.
Just take his first and last name.
That's his new name.
Quarantino. That's awesome.
You seen that new Quarantino movie?
Right.
Shit was live.
It's like, what did you just say? Quarantino?
Quarantino.
Wait, what do you say? I can't.
Yo, that's it.
Your mouth and my brain is not putting two and two together.
That just made me think of Bob Costas and Pootie Tang.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
Dude.
Oh, calm me down on the panty style.
Yeah. Sorry, Pootie. You had me confused there, Pootie.
Yeah, coming up. Sarate.
He said, "Call me down on the face side," and he just looked at him.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about? Pootie got nervous, man.
Yeah,
Pootie was about to call on his bullshit, probably. Pootie was like, oh man, God.
Toy Story 4.
Fucking Pootie time.
Trying to come out in 2017.
Yep. Toy Story movie. I don't really need another one. I'll be honest.
No, especially as much as I cried on the third one.
Oh man.
Y'all didn't need to hear that.
No. I'll edit that out. I knew they would do another one, but yeah, it was.
Mark Wahlberg, $6 billion man.
Yep.
Saw that.
Yeah. I think I'm looking forward to that. Because who's the director? I forgot.
Peter Berg.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Berg.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, they're good. They've done. What they do together?
Well,
Did they do? It wasn't an Italian Job, was it? I thought they might have done Italian.
No,
Job.
just say so.
Was it Italian? I know they worked together before, and I like Peter Berg's stuff, so I think that would be a good movie. And I would like that.
Well, they did
TV
Lone
series?
Survivor together.
That's what it was, Lone Survivor. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
He's
That-
done Battleship, Hancock. Oh, The Kingdom was dope. The Rundown was. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I like his style. And I like his style. Like when you
I
talk
love
about the Rundown.
I don't care what anybody says. I knew it was coming.
Right? Really?
He's like, okay.
Right? Yeah. Oh, so you're one of those guys? No, yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
I love that movie, man.
So
I watched it
hilarious.
like 15 times. Dude.
Oh, man.
It's a problem.
It's hilarious. No, but yeah, I think I like the idea of seeing that movie on the big screen. The old TV show was pretty. I mean, it's obviously old, but I mean, it was a good TV show. But seeing that on the big screen, like now, I can see them doing some pretty over the top shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mark Wahlberg's just.
he's wilding out.
I mean, come on, bro.
Right, yeah.
He's
Go
just
back
like,
there and
hey,
flip
fuck it,
back.
I'll play
Whatever.
God next.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Oh, that was another thing that
Watch
got
out,
announced.
Morgan Freeman.
Not
I was about to say
not
that
the God
too.
thing. But the other thing that got announced, him and Will Ferrell are teaming up for another.
Other guys.
No, it's not gonna be another guys. It's another comedy movie.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not other guys.
It's not a
Other
sequel,
Guys
okay.
too,
I
yeah.
wish they would do that.
Oh God,
That shit kills me every time.
I don't know, man.
You don't like it?
I don't. It's getting to a certain point with Will Ferrell movies where they kind of run a joke into the ground.
Oh yeah, he does.
It was like it's like, all right, just like what they used to do with Saturday Night Live, or probably still do it. They'll sit there and come up with a joke. It would have been funny as like maybe just a 2-3 minute skit.
Right. Yeah.
But if we're gonna drag this shit out,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, okay, I stopped laughing a while ago. I'm
Right, yeah.
like, can we just kind of?
Moving on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
But I mean, nah, I'm not gonna say no. I love a lot of his movies, but
Yeah,
still, it's like, he has it's kind of hit and miss with Will Ferrell in that sense.
I feel. But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, all kinds of shit as always. Man, is it? I think it's.
That's
I'm
that's
pretty
all I can
sure,
think
man.
of. Yeah. Oh, y'all remember Young Berg?
Oh, we good. You said Young Bird?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
The same dude who had his chain go on tour, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, his chain went on tour, but he did not.
Okay. I was just browsing around.
What was his song? So Jay can remember.
Hey Sexy Lady.
Yeah.
I think it was called.
You gotta move on. Was that it?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. Hey, sexy lady.
Yeah. That was Young
nice
Bird.
to know
That was
you.
that
That one,
That
yeah.
light skin.
But wasn't that off of that tank? Wasn't that
It was
didn't he
a-
bite that from that Tank song?
Maybe.
Had a song-
Yeah, it was-
Tank
yeah,
had
it
a
was
song
old. It
with-
was a-
with Timbaland.
It was basically a remake of
Yeah.
an older song. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So I was
Tank
just
track was sick though.
Yeah.
browsing. Okay. Youngberg reportedly wanted due to missed child support payments.
Oh man.
Oh, you need to pay
Youngberg reportedly owes over $86,000 in child support and has not made a payment since 2011.
Oh, don't do that.
Shit.
Don't do
Jesus,
that.
Bird. God, man.
Come on, bro.
Come on,
You
Bird.
need to be a good example.
You're wildin', Bird. Shoot, baby. Still out there looking for that chain. Like
To help pay that off.
Right, like a bad episode of
Oh man.
Cold Case Files. Oh man.
5'5", 136 pounds. Oh, his wanted poster.
I was gonna say Jesus.
Delinquent parent. Yeah, he's 5'5", 136 pounds.
Gee, man, he's a
We must, just pay up, man. We
up.
do not need to see you in prison.
yeah, because you weigh as much as most of those cops' batons. Ridiculous. But yeah.
His chain never had a chance.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Oh man.
Is that one of the comments?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So his height says 5'5". What the fuck? Somebody replied. And 136 pounds. LMAO. His chain never had a chance.
Oh my god, that's terrible. Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, ending off another episode of Discussions with Young Bird Talk. Gotta love it.
It's
This is our-
2007 all over again.
This
Whatever.
is our vintage episode of Open Discussion.
Oh man.
As always, guys, thank you for checking us out. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for all the subscribers. Thanks for everybody who's told me they like the show. gave feedback. Tim, if you're watching this, I'm trying to keep the mic out of my face. Get it together.
That dude.
Yeah, Tim.
I know that dude.
Right. Hey,
Dylan, man.
what's up, buddy?
What are you eating?
He said, "What are you eating?" He'll be looking at his phone like, "What the fuck?" I'm eating potato chips.
Yeah.
No, but guys, as always, thank you. We are actually, since it's November, I was gonna actually like start talking about it today, but I want to start kind of like drop the hint. But we're gonna start talking about like our game, movie, and our like music or album of the year picks here within like the next few weeks. Game wise, the only reason I didn't want to mess with it yet because like we just gotta wait for like November 18th and then all hell breaks loose. So that'll be definitely coming up. We'll be doing like O.A.F discussions, breakdown of our game of the year for all of us, our show of the year, comic of the year, movie, everything. We'll do the whole thing. So if you guys have any specifics,
Booty of the year.
booty.
All right, I'm all aboard.
Send all pictures. Send all the pictures.
Yeah. We will rate you.
Right.
Rate, R-A-T-E. His mouth was covered when he was on the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Let that be clear. R-A-T as in tiger, E. We will rate you.
We want to hear. We want to see all of your favorites.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Well, what was your favorite comic or whatever of or music or album? Like, tell us what it's all about, man.
We don't care what genre.
Give us something to listen to. Give me something to listen to.
Yeah, we don't care what genre. If it's games, if it's something off the wall, give us something to play. Yeah, man. As always, we'll always be right here on every Friday. By the way, we actually got approved for the RSS beta for SoundCloud, so we can actually eventually, like soon, start putting these up on iTunes.
Cool.
We got into that, so hopefully very soon we should be up on iTunes. As soon as I figure out how to do it. But yeah, so that'll be coming. But yeah, guys, as always, thank you guys very, very, very much for checking us out. I am Kid Swift as always.
That's my part, man.
No, my bad.
God.
I was just gonna say, I'm Kid Swift. You can always catch us O.A.F discussions at YouTube. O.A.F discussions, just Google it, you'll find it. There's a few other O.A.F stuff, but it's not anything like us. But yeah, I'm Kid Swift.
All right, this is Thoroughbred Web.
This is the Che Hey Kid. Check out the group XO song called Overdose. It's more K-pop. Do it.
Beast. Check out the game Freedom Wars if you've got a Vita. You got anything from them to check out? What's your spot?
Your local library.
Bam.
I don't
read some books, mother.
Tay Yang Ring-a-Linga.
Yeah,
you should have voted.
Yeah, you better vote it. All right, guys. Thank you guys very much. This is O.A.F discussions. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.